who's settled in Asia, and he's being credited with nothing less than changing the look of cinema. And his recent films bear witness: 2046, In the Mood for Love, and Hero, which was a martial arts box office hit in the US. He's currently working on a film for Merchant's Ivory, and his very un-Hollywood approach is in demand from directors around the world. So what do they get? The Culture Show travelled to Thailand, where he's been filming, and to Hong Kong, where he lives, for a masterclass in cinematography from its new star.
In my world, I think space can be formed by light in order to create poetry. What does a cinematographer do? A cinematographer tries to translate ideas into images. He tries to work out how you can express this story within this space. Now, in the West, the frame is usually based on the proscenium, and it's like saying, well, what do we want to put there? What happens in Western cinema is that, look at this, you're so stupid you don't know what we're trying to tell you. Let me tell you something. And we say, hey, discover this. We decided to shoot part of In the Mood for Love in the heart of Bangkok. So what do you say? For me, there's something about this wall and the sense of loneliness. There's something about the way in which, you know, it is falling apart. There's something about the way, when I first came here, the light fell on these walls that gave it texture. It's an overcast day today, so you don't really see it. But you can see there is a cragginess. There is a sense of loss there. And that's kind of what started us. And then, for some reason, as soon as I put the lights here, which was very simple lighting, the actors were throwing shadows on the wall, which gave it a slightly more, another level of intensity, or another level of loneliness, or another level of whatever you're going to call it. And yet, it seemed that like was a bit too much kaihira cinema, too much like in the face. So, for some reason, I walked inside. I came in here, which is somebody's house, a lot of people's house, actually. And I just felt that giving one more level of detachment, one more level of remove made it even more lonely. So we shot most of the film, most of that sequence, we shot through here as a tracking shot. They're talking about really intimate stuff. At this moment in the film, they're saying, well, you know, I have a husband, you have a wife, what are we going to do? And the mixture of lighting, the mixture of the position of the camera, the way in which we relate to each other, I think is the dynamic of the film. Now, you can't explain that in terms of, it didn't happen because we thought it through. It happened because this space, with this light, with this particular possibility, gave us this moment. Down. Boom, down. Not so fast. Where are you going? Keep going. What happens with camera movement is it's what I call the dance between the actors and the camera. And I think the dance is what really engages people. And how well we dance is what camera movement is about. No, I know. We don't have a lens on this one, but basically, you see, it's just like I can go anywhere, you know, and you can go there, and I'll come back to you very quickly. And I can have different rhythm. So I don't have to go 1, 1, 2, 2, 1. I can go 1, 1, 3, and back. I always felt that the camera is in a very intimate relationship with the actors. That I think that it is a dance. That you take me somewhere and I go with you, and that gives the actors more flexibility.
My friend is in there.
I live in Hong Kong. I think I've done probably 12 or 15 films, either close, or a minute away from where I live. And this particular film called Chongqing Express is shot in this apartment we're sitting in right now. This apartment became like a tourist attraction for Japanese, young Japanese girls for like about a year and a half after the film was released. And for better or worse, I decided to stay here. I think that the reason I'm here and the reason the film was made here is that there is a response to the energy of this space. That the people in this part of town are on the edge of the so-called Western Farang, foreign kind of trading world, and yet down the street is very, very, very local.
If required, place the life jacket over your head and secure the tape firmly around your waist. Blowing into the tube will also inflate the life jacket. Mask, strap.
For me, it's an important film because it's like, first of all, I had nowhere to sleep for 2 weeks. No, 2 months actually. Secondly, I think it does give a sense of, I think the films that we've been trying to make, try to give you a sense of space, a sense of why this story happens is because it happens here. We make films about whatever it is, the energy of people together, their complicity, their loneliness, because we happen to live in a space like that.
我以為會同佢一齊好耐，好似一架日本友嘅飛機咁，可以飛好遠。點知架機中途轉站。
Yeah, we're in a down market part of Bangkok. The reason I wanted to come here was mainly because the amount of ambient light, the light which gives this street a certain energy. I think the cinematography is how a color suggests a certain emotion. It's certainly about light on people's faces. So we came here because we want to talk about color and cinematography, light and faces. So obviously this is what it's all about here. My friend over here says that the girls are not confident enough themselves, and I think that's what we're talking about, that if you are confident with color, if you have friends to help you out, then you'll look really good. You choose the color? You decide which color? And what does she say? The makeup people say, well, she works in an area where there's a lot of pink, so we want to have a violet tone to enhance her complexion, to make her look more energized. But in order to make that violet stand out from her darker skin, she puts a base of a silvery color that sort of enhances it. So it's like an underpainting, it's just like painting. Come here, it's okay. You see look how beautiful the light falls on your face. But how come your makeup? Because you have this warm makeup. So you know that because she works here, so her makeup is warm. The color of her hair is warm because she knows. She knows more than we do. Usually Asian women want to look a little bit whiter than they really are. And they're not yellow, that's for sure. I mean, I think most Asian women are more white than most white women, because most white women are pinkish, in skin coloration. So I usually make the film stock a little bit bluer, so that white responding to blue actually looks whiter. Some people do it by reading and studying other masters, whether it's painting or the history of color, and doing research like that. I think someone like me tends to just walk into this bar right now and see how blue I really feel.